The metallic hum of the laboratory filled the air, the sterile scent almost suffocating. Bright white lights illuminated the room with an almost unnatural clarity, casting sharp shadows on the sleek surfaces and blinking consoles. In the center of this high-tech chamber lay the alien girl, her skin shimmering faintly with an iridescent glow, her slender frame barely visible beneath the transparent biogel that cocooned her. She was unlike anything the human scientists had ever seen before, yet her current predicament was all too human. The moment was tense, charged with silent anticipation. The alien, known only by her designation Nia, twitched lightly as a delicate probe administered the first phase of a human reproductive process, a method completely alien to her species, yet one she had insisted on trying. The reason? None of the scientists fully understood, but Nia's determination was unmistakable. Her large, multifaceted eyes flickered with a mixture of fear, curiosity, and something deeper, hope. Dr. Elena Morris, lead biologist on the project, stood beside the control panel watching every readout, every flicker of data on the screen. Sweat beaded on her forehead despite the cool room. This was uncharted territory. The implications were vast for human science, for alien biology, and for the fragile bridge being built between two vastly different civilizations. Initiating. Phase 1, she whispered into her comms, her voice steady despite the tension. Nia's breathing, if it could be called that, was shallow and uneven. The probe emitted a low-frequency pulse designed to simulate human ovulation signals. According to their models, this should trigger a chain of cellular reactions inside Nia's biology, but no one knew how her alien physiology would respond. Suddenly, a sharp spike registered on the monitors. Nia's body stiffened, a faint glow intensifying beneath her skin. The scientists exchanged nervous glances. This was it. The moment of truth. Then, without warning, Nia's eyes snapped open. Wide pupils dilated in what looked like pain, or perhaps shock. Her body convulsed violently inside the biogel cocoon. Alarms began to beep. "Shut it down! Shut it down!" Dr. Morris shouted, fingers flying across the controls. The biogel began to retract, releasing Nia's trembling form onto the table beneath. She gasped, or at least emitted a sound that resembled a gasp, and blinked rapidly, struggling to regain control of her limbs. Everyone held their breath. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, Nia's breathing slowed, her eyes locking onto Dr. Morris with an intensity that sent a chill through the room. I feel different," she said, her voice hesitant but clear in perfect English, a language she had painstakingly learned since arriving on Earth months ago. Dr. Morris stepped forward cautiously. "Can you describe it?" Nia's gaze flickered downward to her abdomen, then back up. "It's warmth and something growing inside." The room fell silent. No one spoke. No one dared to move. This was more than science. This was a moment that could change everything. In the days that followed, Nia was monitored continuously. The alien girl, who had once been an enigma, was now the epicenter of a scientific and ethical storm. Reports from the lab flooded in. Her physiology was adapting to human reproductive signals in ways previously thought impossible. But along with this progress came uncertainty. Strange symptoms began to appear. Bouts of fatigue that were deeper than mere exhaustion, visions that seemed to blur the lines between reality and dreams, and an emotional volatility that surprised everyone. Nia, who had once been composed and reserved, now laughed and cried unpredictably. The humans around her, especially Dr. Morris, began to feel an unexpected empathy. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the lab in a warm orange hue, Dr. Morris sat beside Nia, who was resting on a specially designed biobed. The alien's eyes reflected the fading light. "Why did you want to try this?" Dr. Morris asked softly, breaking the silence. Nia hesitated, then whispered, "Because I want to understand humans, to be part of something bigger." The human scientist nodded, a lump forming in her throat. The barriers between species were more fragile than she had imagined, but not everyone was pleased. Far away, in the cold command chambers of the alien homeworld, leaders watched the experiment with growing concern. The Council of Elders debated fiercely. "This is folly," hissed a stern figure cloaked in shadow. "Our genetic purity is at risk. This hybridization could lead to chaos." "But it may be the key to survival," countered another voice. "The human method, flawed as it may be, could solve problems our own species cannot." A tense silence fell. The stakes were higher than anyone had admitted. Back on Earth, news of the experiment had leaked to select media outlets. Speculation and conspiracy theories blossomed overnight. The public was hungry for answers, and the internet buzzed with theories ranging from hopeful to terrifying. Meanwhile, in the lab, Nia's condition took a startling turn. One morning, the monitors detected a rapid cell division previously unseen in either human or alien biology. Dr. Morris stared at the data, disbelief etched on her face. This is beyond anything we've ever recorded," she murmured. Suddenly, the lab was plunged into darkness, an unexpected power failure that lasted only seconds but was enough to trigger emergency protocols. When the lights flickered back, Nia was gone. The silence that followed was deafening. This was the moment when the story truly began. The moment when humans and aliens would be forced to confront not just biology, but the very meaning of life, identity, and coexistence. And no one knew what horrors or miracles awaited just beyond the horizon. The emergency lights blinked red in the sterile lab, casting eerie shadows across the empty room. The hum of the backup generators was the only sound as Dr. Elena Morris frantically scanned the control panels, trying to make sense of the sudden power failure that had thrown the entire facility into chaos. "Nia's gone," Elena whispered, disbelief thick in her voice. "How? Where?" The biogel chamber was empty, the containment protocols breached. Cameras covering every corner of the lab showed nothing, only static flickers for a few seconds during the blackout. The alien girl, the living enigma, had vanished. Panic rippled through the scientific team. Security systems were locked down immediately. No one was allowed in or out without permission. The project director, Dr. Henry Carlson, stormed into the control room, his face pale but resolute. "We need answers, now," he barked. "If she's escaped, this could be a disaster." Elena swallowed hard. "We don't even know how she disappeared. The power failure, it wasn't scheduled. Someone could have sabotaged the systems." Dr. Carlson nodded grimly. "Get security to review every feed from the last 24 hours. We need a full audit. Meanwhile, we stay on lockdown." As security scrambled to comb through footage, Elena's mind raced. Nia's disappearance wasn't just a security breach, it was something bigger. The aliens' biological data had been unlike anything humans had ever recorded, especially since the reproduction experiment began. The rapid cell division, the strange symptoms, it all suggested an internal change so profound it might have compromised her very being. Inside the shadows, Nia's ordeal awoke in an unfamiliar place, a dimly lit corridor lined with smooth, metallic walls that pulsed faintly with bioluminescent veins. She struggled to sit up, her body weak but burning with a strange energy. Memories of the lab flashed through her mind. The bright lights, the cold instruments, the probing sensations inside her body. The human reproductive process had triggered something inside her biology. Something neither human nor alien. She pressed a trembling hand to her abdomen. The warmth she felt earlier was now an intense, growing presence, a life force awakening inside her. But alongside it was fear. What was happening to her? Was she still herself? As she stumbled through the corridors, echoes of voices whispered. In her mind, alien voices, human voices, conflicting messages, emotions she had never known. A growing storm inside her head made her stagger. Suddenly a soft voice called out, "Nia, can you hear me?" She turned to see a tall figure cloaked in white robes, their face obscured by a delicate mask shaped like an owl. The figure extended a hand. "I'm Zela, your guide. You are safe here." "Where am I?" Nia asked, her voice barely a whisper. "This is the sanctuary," Zela replied gently. "A hidden refuge for those who walk between worlds." Confused but desperate, Nia took the hand, allowing herself to be led deeper into the sanctuary. The walls here seemed alive, breathing softly with energy that resonated with her own. It was a place unlike any she had known. The Council's fear back on the alien homeworld, the Council of Elders, was in turmoil. The disappearance of Nia was a spark that ignited decades of fear and suspicion. "We must find her," the Elder in Shadows growled. "Her experiment threatens the very fabric of our society." "Her desire to blend with humans is a betrayal," another Elder hissed. "The hybridization could dilute our essence and endanger us all." "But what if she has unlocked a new path to evolution?" countered a younger voice, tinged with hope. "The human way is flawed, yes, but it is also powerful. Nia might be the key to survival." Arguments escalated, old wounds reopened. The Council's fears ran deeper than simple genetics. They feared change, the unknown, the fragile future of their species. Human reactions, ethics and emotions on Earth. The project's fallout was just beginning. News had leaked beyond official channels, and the media. Frenzy had erupted. Speculation ran wild. Some hailed Nia as a symbol of hope and unity, while others branded the experiment as a dangerous abomination. Inside the lab, Dr. Morris faced intense scrutiny. The ethics committee demanded answers, questioning the morality of forcing alien biology to conform to human reproductive methods. Elena defended the project fiercely. "This is not about coercion," Nia volunteered. "She wanted to understand us, to create a bridge. We must respect that." But even as she spoke, Elena was haunted by doubt. The signs of Nia's internal struggle grew harder to ignore. One night, alone in her office, Elena studied the data once more. Strange energy readings pulsed from Nia's last known biological scans, waves of bioelectric fluctuations, unlike anything in human or alien science. A cold realization dawned on her. We don't just risk Nia's life. We risk something far greater: emotional turmoil, the human-alien divide. Meanwhile, deep inside the sanctuary, Nia grappled with her new reality. Her emotions surged unpredictably. The warmth inside her was not just physical, it was a connection, a bond with something beyond her understanding. She remembered fragments of human affection, gentle touches, soothing voices, the complexity of human love and pain. She longed to belong, but felt the pull of two worlds tearing her apart. Sela watched her silently. "You carry the future within you," he said softly, "but with it comes great pain." "Am I becoming something else?" Nia whispered. "Yes," Sela replied, "but also someone more. The path will be difficult, but you are not alone." Tears streaked down Nia's face, an alien gesture of sorrow that mirrored human vulnerability. An unexpected visitor. One evening, as Nia rested in the sanctuary's garden, a place where bioluminescent flowers glowed softly under an artificial moon, Sela brought a visitor. A human stepped forward, hesitant but determined. "Dr. Morris." "Nia," Elena said quietly, "we've been looking everywhere for you. We're here to help." Nia's eyes filled with tears. "I don't know who I am anymore." Elena took her hand gently. "You're both. You're more than either species, and we will figure this out together." The bond between scientist and alien deepened, bridging worlds not only in biology, but in heart. Rising threats, but peace was fragile. Unknown to Naya and Elena, agents from both alien and human factions had mobilized. Some sought to protect her, others to exploit or destroy what she had become. Back in the lab, security teams intercepted encrypted transmissions hinting at a rescue operation, or worse, a capture mission. Tensions mounted. Trust frayed. The future of Nia and the fragile alliance between species hung by a thread. Cliffhanger. Late one night, as Eleanor prepared to return to the sanctuary, her comm beeped urgently. "Dr. Morris, you need to see this." The voice on the other end said, breathless. A screen flickered to life, showing a shadowy figure moving through the lab corridors. An unknown intruder, armed and determined. The message was clear. Nia is not safe, and neither are we. The shadow in the lab corridors moved swiftly, silent as a whisper, yet filled with deadly purpose. The unknown intruder was no ordinary thief. They were well-trained, precise, and had a mission: find Nia and bring her back, or eliminate her. If necessary, Elena's heart pounded as she watched the live feed. "Security, lock down all exits, find that intruder, now!" Her voice trembled, betraying the calm she tried to maintain. This wasn't just about science anymore. It was about survival. Nia's survival, and maybe even theirs all. Inside the sanctuary, Nia's growing powers. Nia sat cross-legged in the sanctuary's meditation chamber, focusing on the strange warmth that had grown inside her since the experiment. The life forming within her pulsed in harmony with her heartbeat, but it also echoed through her very essence, awakening abilities she had never imagined. Her skin glowed faintly with a soft blue light. She could feel energy moving under her fingertips, bending and shaping around her thoughts. The melding of human and alien biology was no longer just physical. It was transforming her on a molecular, even spiritual level. But with this newfound power came confusion and fear. Every time she tried to control it, images flashed in her mind, fragments of memories not her own, faces she didn't recognize, and warnings whispered in an alien tongue. Seller watched her closely, concern etched into his voice. "You're experiencing what we call the awakening. It is a dangerous phase where the hybrid must learn to balance both natures. Failure means destruction." Nia swallowed hard. "But what if I can't?" "You can," Seller said firmly. "You must." A secret revealed. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dr. Morris was called into a secure conference room. The walls were lined with monitors, displaying the latest intelligence gathered by both government agencies and private security firms involved in the project. Dr. Carlson was already there, his face grave. "Elena, we've intercepted communications. Someone from inside this facility is leaking information to outside factions, alien sympathizers, or possibly worse." Elena's stomach sank. "Are you suggesting there's a traitor here?" Carlson nodded. "We have to find out who before they sabotage everything." Elena's mind raced. The leak explained the intruder's knowledge of the lab and Nia's whereabouts. But who among them could be responsible? The team quickly launched an internal investigation. Trust shattered as suspicion spread like wildfire among the scientists and staff. Naya's escape plan back at the sanctuary. Naya's instincts screamed that danger was closing in. The sanctuary's peaceful facade was an illusion, and the shadows outside were growing darker. "I have to go back," Nia told Seller. "I have to face them." Sailor shook his head. "It's too dangerous. You need to learn control here first." "No," Nia insisted. "If they want me, I'll find them first. I can't hide anymore." Sealer sighed, understanding her determination. "Very well, but you won't go alone." Together, they devised a plan. Nia would use her emerging powers to mask her presence while they slipped through hidden passages back to Earth's surface. The human and alien. Chase as Nia and Selah moved stealthily through the sanctuary's tunnels. Unknown eyes watched them, agents loyal to different factions, some with sinister motives. One of these agents was Kiran, a former scientist turned mercenary, hired by a shadowy corporate group aiming to weaponize Nia's unique biology. Kiran's team tracked them relentlessly, deploying drones equipped with advanced sensors designed to detect alien energy signatures. Each encounter pushed Nia's powers to their limits. She could bend light to become invisible, manipulate small energy fields to disable surveillance devices, but every use drained her physically and mentally. Elena's crisis back at the lab, Eleanor faced another battle. The pressure from authorities and media intensified. She was accused of recklessness, of playing God with an alien life form. Her team fractured. Some supported her vision, others wanted to shut down the project immediately. One night, after a heated argument with a colleague, Elena sat alone, reviewing old logs of Nia's biological readings. She realized that Nia's hybrid condition was evolving faster than expected. "This isn't just about reproduction anymore," Elena whispered to herself. "It's an evolutionary leap." Her phone buzzed, a message from an anonymous source. "If you want to save her, meet me tonight, alone." The midnight meeting Elena arrived at the designated location, a quiet park under the cover of darkness. A figure stepped out from the shadows, a man she vaguely recognized from the project, Dr. Amir Shah, a bioengineer who had mysteriously disappeared weeks ago. "Amir? Where have you been?" she asked, heart racing. "I've been watching," Amir replied. "There are forces at play you don't understand. The government, the corporations, even factions within the alien community. They want Nia for their own gain." Elena's hands trembled. "Then what can we do?" Amir pulled out a small device. "This can help Nia control her powers, safeguard her from being used as a weapon. But we need to get it to her, and fast." The growing hybrid Nia struggled with the rapid changes. Her hybrid nature was pushing her beyond human limits and alien traditions. She could feel the life inside her reacting violently to the stress and danger. One night, as she meditated, a sudden surge of energy erupted, causing a violent shockwave that shattered nearby crystal formations in the sanctuary. Selah caught her before she fell. "You're losing control." "I'm scared," Nia admitted, tears flowing freely. "You're stronger than you think," Selah assured. "But you must accept who you are, not just alien, not just human, but both." The ambushes Nia and Selah prepared to leave the sanctuary. Kiran's mercenaries launched a surprise attack. The battle was brutal. Nia's powers flared uncontrollably. Energy blasts, force fields, and rapid regeneration stunned their attackers. But the mercenaries had advanced weaponry and sheer numbers. Just as Nia was about to be overwhelmed, Selah unleashed a powerful energy pulse, scattering the assailants. Breathing heavily, Nia realized she had only delayed the inevitable. The war for her existence had truly begun. Cliffhanger ending. Back on Earth, Eleanor and Amir raced against time to reach Nia. But unknown to them, a mysterious figure watched from the shadows, phone in hand, sending a single cryptic message. "The hybrid is more than we feared. Prepare for the reckoning." The screen went dark. The early morning sun cast long shadows over the facility as Elena and Amir raced toward the sanctuary's coordinates. The tension between them was thick, the weight of secrets, betrayals, and unknown threats pressing heavily on their shoulders. "Amir," Elena began, a voice steady but laced with urgency. "How much time do we have before Kiran's group strikes again?" Amir glanced over his shoulder, scanning the horizon nervously. "Not long. They're relentless. If they catch Nia unprepared, it'll be over." The race against time, Elena's mind raced back to the midnight meeting. The device Amir had given her, a small, sleek module designed to amplify Nia's control over her hybrid powers, was now secured in her bag. Its advanced bio-interface was the key to saving Nia from becoming a weapon in the wrong hands. But getting it to Nia wasn't going to be easy. The sanctuary was miles beneath the surface, protected by ancient alien technology and human security measures. And now, with mercenaries hunting her, it was a battleground. Nia's isolation deep inside the sanctuary, Nia grappled with the chaos swirling inside her body and mind. The hybrid life growing within her had reached a critical stage, making her feel every emotion and sensation with heightened intensity: fear, anger, hope, doubt. She was alone, except for Sela, who remained her steadfast guardian and mentor. "Nia," Sela said softly, "your time here is almost over. You must learn to trust yourself." She nodded, wiping tears from her cheeks. "I want to be ready for whatever comes next." The unexpected visitor. Suddenly, the sanctuary's communication panel blinked to life. The screen flickered, revealing a blurry figure, Elena. The voice was faint but unmistakable. Nia's heart leapt. "Yes, it's me," Elena said, her voice steady despite the tension. "We're coming for you." "Hold on." The screen went dark. Betrayal from within back at the lab, suspicion festered. Elena and Amir had uncovered troubling evidence. Someone close to the project was leaking information to the mercenaries. The traitor wasn't just a saboteur. They were working for a shadowy organization with its own agenda. Elena's eyes narrowed. "We need to root out the mole before it's too late," Amir agreed. "But be careful. This person knows all our moves." Nia's training intensifies. In the sanctuary's hidden chambers, Sailor pushed Nia harder than ever. She practiced controlling her energy pulses, bending light and resisting the overwhelming instincts of the alien life growing inside her. Each success was met with exhaustion, each failure with frustration. "You must embrace both sides of your nature," Sela insisted. "Only then will you be truly powerful." Nia's thoughts flickered to the life growing within. Was it human, alien, or something new entirely? Deadly ambush. As Elena and Amir navigated the perilous paths toward the sanctuary, their convoy was ambushed. Explosions rocked the ground. Bullets tore through the air. Amir shouted, "They're here! Get down!" Elena ducked behind a vehicle, heart pounding. She glanced at the device in her bag, her last hope to save Nia. With no other choice, they fought back, using every tactic they had learned. The power within, unleashed inside the sanctuary, Nia sensed the attack. Her hybrid powers surged uncontrollably, energy crackling around her like a storm. Sela braced himself. "Focus, Nia. You must control it." But the hybrid energy exploded outward, shattering walls and sending shards of crystal flying. Nia's scream echoed through the corridors. Part pain, part fury, part determination, Elena's desperate move. Despite the chaos, Elena's mind was razor-sharp. She knew that if Nia lost control, the entire facility, and perhaps the world, would be at risk. Pulling the bio-interface device from her bag, she activated it and sent a pulse toward the sanctuary's energy grid. Instantly, the ambient energy in the sanctuary shifted. The storm around Nia began to calm. The calm. After the storm, Nia collapsed to the ground, breathing heavily. Sela knelt beside her. "You did well," he said quietly. "You're stronger than I thought." Elena's voice crackled over the communicator. "Nia, we're almost there. Hold on." Nia's eyes fluttered open. "I'm ready." A new threat emerges, but just as hope bloomed, the unknown figure from the shadows stepped forward, revealing himself, an alien envoy from a distant faction, more powerful and dangerous than anyone had anticipated. "The hybrid must be controlled," said coldly, "or destroyed. The sanctuary trembled as new dangers closed in. Cliffhanger ending, Elena, Nia, Sela, and Amir faced a battle not just for survival, but for the future of two worlds. And as the shadows deepened, the true reckoning began. The air in the sanctuary grew thick with tension as the alien envoy's chilling words echoed through the chamber. His presence was an ominous reminder that the struggle for Naya's future was far from over, and far more complex than Elena, Amir, and Sela had ever imagined. "You will surrender the hybrid," the envoy demanded, "or witness the destruction of your sanctuary and all you hold dear." Elena's resolve. Elena tightened her grip on the bio-interface device, the weight of responsibility anchoring her resolve. "We won't let you decide her fate," she declared, her voice cutting through the heavy silence. "Nia is not a weapon to be controlled or destroyed. She is a being with her own destiny." The envoy's eyes narrowed, a cold, calculating glint. "Your defiance will cost you everything." Secrets unveiled as the standoff continued. Amir quietly moved to scan the sanctuary's systems. He discovered encrypted files hidden deep within the facility's archives. With a quick series of commands, he accessed the data, revealing startling truths. The hybrid project was not simply a scientific experiment. It was part of a larger, secret war between alien factions that had been manipulating Earth's history from the shadows for centuries. Naya was the key, a symbol of alliance and power that could shift the balance, Naya's inner conflict. Meanwhile, inside Naya's mind, the hybrid life pulsed stronger than ever. Her thoughts flickered between fear and defiance, confusion and clarity. Why was she created? What was her purpose beyond survival? Her alien instincts wrestled with her human heart. She could feel the envoy's power probing her consciousness, trying to break her will. Sela placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You are more than they want you to be, Naya. Remember who you are." A secret ally. Suddenly, the sanctuary's alarms blared. The outer defenses had been breached, but the attackers were not the mercenaries. An unexpected group of rebels, alien outcasts opposing the envoy's faction, infiltrated the facility. Their leader stepped forward, a fierce warrior with a scarred face and burning eyes. "We're here to help," she said, "but time is short." The plan to escape Elena, Amir, Nia, Sela, and the rebels quickly formed a plan. They would use the bio-interface device to amplify Nia's control, allowing her to unlock new powers and evade capture. But the device had a risk. It could destabilize Nia's hybrid nature, potentially harming both her and the child within. Amir voiced the fear they all shared. "It's a gamble, but it might be the only way." Nia nodded, her determination shining through. "I'm ready." The amplification with careful precision, the device was connected to Nia's biosignals. A surge of energy flowed through her, unlocking new abilities, energy manipulation, enhanced senses, and a deeper connection to both her alien and human sides. The room shimmered as Nia's aura expanded, a radiant force of life and power. But with the power came pain. Nia's body trembled, the hybrid life inside struggling to adjust. The betrayal revealed amid the chaos. Elena's communicator crackled with a chilling revelation. The traitor within their ranks had been feeding information to the envoy all along. The rebel leader's voice hardened. "We must find the mole before it's too late. They're guiding the enemy straight to us." Elena's mind raced, recalling every suspicious moment, every subtle misstep, confronting the mole, the group. Gathered eyes scanning each other with suspicion. Trust was fragile. Elena stepped forward. "We need to end this before the envoy destroys everything. If the mole isn't found, none of us will survive." One by one, the members of the team were questioned, their motives, their actions, their loyalties. Finally, Amir's gaze fixed on one of the scientists, a quiet figure who had stayed in the shadows. "You betrayed us," Amir accused. The scientist's face twisted with guilt and fear. They threatened my family. I had no choice. Nia's strength tested. Outside the questioning, Nia struggled to maintain her balance. The power coursing through her veins was both a gift and a curse. Her body convulsed as visions of a distant planet flooded her mind, a place she had never seen, yet somehow felt connected to. Was this the origin of the hybrid life? Was her destiny tied to that faraway world? The final battle begins, with the mole exposed and the rebel reinforcements bolstering their defenses, the sanctuary prepared for the inevitable assault. The envoy's forces surged forward, an unstoppable tide of power and ruthlessness. Elena, Amir, Zella, Nia, and the rebels stood united, a last line of defense for the future of both species. Unexpected sacrifice in the heat of battle, Sella faced the envoy directly. Their clash was fierce, a brutal dance of strength and strategy. Sella realized the only way to protect Nia was to buy her time, even if it meant sacrificing himself. With a final, powerful strike, Sella disrupted the envoy's energy core, triggering an explosion that engulfed them both. Nia's awakening, the explosion sent shockwaves through the sanctuary, shaking its foundations. Nia, overwhelmed by grief and rage, unleashed a torrent of energy unlike anything seen before. Her hybrid powers soared to new heights, creating a protective barrier around her friends. "I will not let his sacrifice be in vain," she vowed. Cliffhanger as the dust settled, Eleanor and Amir looked at Nia, changed, powerful, and more determined than ever. But the envoy's last words echoed in their minds. This is only the beginning. The true battle for the hybrid's fate and the future of two worlds was far from over. The air was thick with silence, an uneasy calm after the storm that had shattered the sanctuary. The battle had left scars, but also a fierce determination burning in the hearts of those who survived. Elena, Amir, and Nia stood amidst the ruins, the weight of their choices heavier than ever before. The envoy was gone, or so they thought. The hidden threat unknown to the survivors, deep within the shadows of the sanctuary, a hidden console, flickered to life. The envoy's consciousness, a digital remnant encoded into the sanctuary's systems, began to awaken. "This is not over," the envoy's voice hissed from the speakers, a sinister promise echoing through the empty halls. "The hybrid's power belongs to my people, and I will reclaim it, no matter the cost." Nia's burden. Nia stood on the edge of a broken balcony, gazing out at the ruined cityscape below. The hybrid child inside her stirred, a symbol of hope and fear entwined. She felt the duality within her stronger than ever, the human compassion battling the alien instincts. Her hybrid nature was no longer a secret to hide. It was a beacon, a bridge between two worlds. Elena approached. Quietly, "Nia, we have to decide what comes next. Your power could save or destroy us all." Nia's eyes shone with determination. "I choose to protect life, not just human or alien, but all who call this universe home." The alliance forged. Elena and Amir worked tirelessly to rally allies from both human resistance groups and alien rebels. The revelation of the envoy's faction manipulating Earth's history had ignited a spark of unity. "We're stronger together," Amir said during a council meeting broadcast to scattered forces. "The hybrid is a symbol of that unity. Our future depends on bridging our worlds, not tearing them apart." The council agreed. A fragile but hopeful alliance was formed. A new threat emerges, but peace was fragile. Sensors detected an incoming fleet, vast, ominous, and bearing the insignia of a third faction previously unknown. They called themselves the Purifiers, Seller's hologram warned, his voice calm despite the tension. Their mission, to eliminate all hybrids and those who protect them. They see hybrids as abominations. The race against time. The newly formed alliance scrambled to prepare defenses. Nia trained tirelessly, pushing her hybrid abilities to their limits under Elena's watchful eye. One night, as the twin moons rose over the horizon, Nia's powers flared uncontrollably. Visions of devastation and hope mingled in her mind. "I can feel them coming," she whispered. "But I also see something else, a path forward." The journey within to unlock that path, Nia knew she had to confront the deepest parts of her hybrid soul. Guided by ancient alien relics and human wisdom, she entered a trance-like state. Inside her consciousness, she wandered an alien world, a serene planet bathed in twilight, the cradle of the hybrid species. There, a voice resonated, soft but powerful. "You carry the future of both our peoples. Embrace your whole self, and you will find strength beyond imagination." The ultimate choice, Nia awoke with clarity. The hybrid child inside her was not just a life to protect, it was the next step in evolution, a new beginning. But with that came a sacrifice. She could either sever her connection to the alien side to ensure the child's safety, or merge fully with her hybrid nature, risking everything for greater power and unity. She shared her dilemma with Eleanor and Amir. "I can't do this alone," she said. "I need your trust." The battle for unity. The Purifier's fleet descended, relentless and merciless. The Alliance forces, though united, struggled to hold the line. Nia led the charge, her powers dazzling and terrifying, energy storms, shields of light, and bursts of raw force that turned the tide. But the Purifier's leader, a cold and calculating warlord, confronted her directly. "You are a threat to order," he declared. "Your existence must be erased." A sacrifice for the future. In the heart of the battle, Nia made her choice. She embraced her hybrid nature fully, merging her consciousness with the child inside her. A brilliant light engulfed her, radiating hope and power. Her sacrifice unlocked a new energy, a unifying force that calmed the raging war and disarmed the Purifier's aggression. Peace at last, with the Purifiers defeated and the Envoy's threat neutralized. The Alliance began rebuilding, stronger and more united. Nia, now a symbol of hope and unity, vowed to protect the fragile peace. Elena and Amir stood by her side, ready to face the future together. Epilogue. A lesson for all us, the twin suns. Rose over the horizon, Elena recorded a message for the future. In a universe full of differences, it is our shared humanity and compassion that binds us. The hybrid was never a weapon or a threat. It was a promise that together we can overcome fear, hatred, and division. Our greatest strength lies not in our origins, but in our choices to protect life, embrace change, and seek understanding. The screen faded to black, leaving the viewers with a question that lingered long after the story ended. What would you choose when faced with the fate of two worlds? The end,